So, hi everyone. Moving to the next chapter, that is what is Google Analytics, and I'll give you a complete overview of the dashboard. The point is that Google Analytics has lot of information which might or might not be required at your end. What are the most critical informations? I'll be giving you an overview for that, and you can ignore a lot of information that might not be required in the stage one of your journey, but might be required at the later stage, which you will eventually come to know by yourself. So without wasting any more time, let's quickly jump onto the dashboard. So here we are onto our dashboard, and this is the way it looks. So it is for my website, which is called Sit Digital. And what we see right at the beginning is that we are in the home page, and these are the statistics that are here. I'll just quickly talk about few of the digital jargons that are used here, which you will see most of the places talking from the same lens, right? So talking at the first lens, that is users. Users are unique users. That means there are 35 users that were there on this platform. I, yeah, from 29 Jan to 4th of Feb is the timeline here. So 35 users have been there, and of which the session is 39. That means what is the definition of a session? A session is called when a person or a user visits the website again and again. Maybe after 30 minutes is called one session. So after 30 minutes, if he's visiting again, is counted as two sessions for the same user. So there are 35 users and 39 sessions that have taken place. Bounce rate is something where a person lands onto one page and do not moves to the other page and bounces out. Why? So bounce rate, I think a good bounce rate is between 30 to 40%. I don't say my bounce rate is bad because what I generally promote is one of the blogs or articles, and people who read the blogs and articles, they are just on that one page and then they log out, right? So I have not created a consumer journey where they are jumping pages. The session duration on an average, it says that it's 20 seconds, which according to me is quite low, and a good session duration should be more than a minute or so, right? Going forward, you will also see that from where the users have come. Broadly, there are three elements they have done. One is direct traffic, one is organic search, and one is others. Okay, this is the return users journey. This is basically tells us that how many users are returning on a month-on-month basis. So in December it was somewhere around 8%. In January it has been only around 4%. There's something called as an active users, and what we see here is the journey with a breakup of monthly, weeks, and daily. So we are seeing that active users in a week is around uh, 39, in a month is around 156, in a daily routine it's 4, and retain users, this you can this specifically guides you that where is the maximum audience coming in at what time, right? So I see a lot of blues here. That means from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. you have the maximum traffic. And if I compare this, then 2 to 2 p.m. and 12 p.m. is something which you, I think, have the highest traffic as such, right? Where are your users mostly? So these are just one. Ignore this. I think mostly India. That means my targeting and the reach where I am intending is correct. It's going to the right audience. Most of the users that are coming in from mobile. Desktop is only 25% and tablet is 2.6%. Now, which are the pages that users are mostly visiting? Are these set of pages? So I can actually see that what kind of content is working on my website, uh, and how things are. Google Ads campaign, if you run, and then only you can see the ads here. So this is the dashboard which you have, and it can be customized. We'll not get into that. We'll quickly jump into the report section. The report section, coming to the real time aspect. Real time is something which tells you real time at currently at this point of time is there any user on the platform. So you go to home, right? So let's see, I click on overview and I see one audience right now, right? So this is giving me a real time for overview for my location, for my traffic source, for my content. Ignore event and conversion. So where is the real time parameters most important according to me? If you're running a campaign for 3 days, 4 days, a Republic kind of a campaign, or maybe New Year or Diwali, something like that, then this becomes very critical because as soon as your campaign goes live, you can see on a real time basis how many audience are coming onto your platform at that point of time, and you can bifurcate it from location traffic. So suppose I am saying that my campaign is only running in Bombay, and my traffic source is one particular landing page, so automatically my location should be showing that the highest traffic that is coming from Bombay, right? That is how it will be showing here as well. So moving on without wasting too much time on real time for me is not that critical unless you have a campaign running. Moving to the audience segment, audience has now a lot of elements that has been added and modified. We'll go into the overview section. So this is something which I always capture in my report, and I always set it on a month basis. So suppose I'm checking only for January as such. So this is what has happened in January. Uh, I most of the times I add this thing in the report. You can export the report, you can share, you can save. I export it and then paste it onto the PPT and then present it. So I just explained you the users, the new users, session, number of session, bounce rate, average session, pages, and page views, right? I don't think there's an explanation required over here. What we can take away from here is that my returning visitors are really low. That means whatever I am doing is triggering for new users, and the new repeating users are only 13%, which is very low. To increase this, there should be a strategy in place where, so in case you have a website and you're a blogger, then I think the intention should be to capture the email ID and share the new blog that you're writing with them so that they can come again and again and read your blogs. Automatically this number will go up, right? Which language? English is the maximum, and then this is other language. This again is not that important to me. So demographics, system, mobile, everything you can get here from a very specific date perspective. This was real time, and I think both the statistics are same. But real time may you're only seeing it at that particular time. Audience may you can bifurcate it from a date perspective. Now we will little bit dive deep into 1 day active users, 7 day active users, 14 day, and 28 days. This can give you some idea and indication that number of new users are coming from what to what time, right? This is a beta version. I think they have added it recently. Lifetime value. Lifetime value is, I think, uh, is a very good parameter. This basically, so see, my website is just a blogging website, but you imagine two different websites. One is where a conversion is buying a product, and one there is a service where you're taking up a service like a spa or a haircut kind of a thing, right? So for each time you are taking a service, you have the probability that you will be targeting with ads, and you might again book an urban clap kind of a thing, or you again book it something from a nearby, right? So you become a repeat customer, and there is a probability that in a year you are taking this service at least 5 times or 6 times, right? Whereas you buy a product, which is, suppose, something from a e-commerce website, something as a game, that is a one time you'll buy it. That's not something that is repetitive. So if the value of so if I have to calculate the LTV, which is the lifetime value for the haircut, the lifetime value will be, suppose, 100 rupees for one haircut, and you're doing it for 6 times in a year. Your lifetime value will be 600. Whereas the game cost 100, lifetime value for the game will be 100, right? That is the way the lifetime value is calculated. Now with respect to the number of users coming in, you can set up a LTV number here, where you can get an idea of what the LTV is, right? Moving on, cohort analysis. Cohort analysis is again a brilliant tool, brilliant statistic point, which says that if a user is coming on a next day, what is the frequency of he I are we can look at last 30 days. Okay, we can see in a probability last 30 days what is the frequency he is coming in with, right? So we can see something like this as a report. So obviously this is a huge report, but how to see it, I'll just explain you. So suppose on 6th of Jan, there were three users who came in. The probability of users again coming back to the website was zero. It was zero throughout, right? Whereas you see this one, which is 26th of Jan, 14 users. Of the total users, 14 users that came in, 7% again came in on this date, which is day 2, and then again on the fourth day, 7%. So this way you can identify the repeat purchase, or right. So I think this is very useful for people who are content writers and bloggers, because I believe they, after a point of time, create a very loyal audience for themselves, and they can check the loyalty from this chart, where the cohort will give them an idea of how things are, right? Moving on to the audience segment. So audience is currently, means I don't have. I think the time period. uh, Just let's check if they are capturing anything else. No. So, of the total, ignore the audience one. I think you can ignore the user explorer as well, because it's just IP addresses that are being captured. So, in the audience segment, I think overview is the most important. LTV if set is very important. Cohort if set is very important. Or these two are very important. You can ignore audience and user explorer. Moving to acquisition. Acquisition has a lot of separate elements. Overview generally talks about acquiring a customer through which channels, right? That is the intent. So we have these many channels that are there, and these are the number of audience that are coming through these channels. So acquisition is this, behavior is this. Behavior may they are capturing the bounce rate. That means people who are bouncing away from this channel. That means, for example, bounce rate in social is 100%. That means people who landed from my social account to my website actually were not the right audience targeting. So I might need to change something here. Whereas in the paid, it was really good. Uh, in direct, it was good. In organic, also, it was okay. So this is the way we see the acquisition part of it. All traffic. Moving on to the channels. Which are the channels which are being used to bring in? Again, that the overview is getting translated into an Excel kind of a format, where you're getting which channel is giving you new user session, the behavior, and then the conversion, right? These are the three important parameters. Because I've not set any value in conversion, hence there is a zero coming everywhere. Whereas if I would have set, then the conversion will also be taking place. You'll get a tentative idea of which channel is really working for you and the conversion, right? You can ignore the tree map, but still I'll just show you. Tree map is nothing but again a summation of this. Green means high. You can see here, green means very high. Pink means low. That means direct is really good for us, and this one is really good for us. So you can ignore tree maps. Source and medium is one of the very important elements when I capture it in the report, because source tells me from which source have these people landed onto my website, right? So the my source has been Google, CPC, Baidu, which is China channel, Facebook, referral, Bing, and certain websites that are here. So top three or top four, I think, always have a summation of 95% plus, and I always take only 5 to 6 in a report to show that these are my major sources through which this is coming in. Referrals is another source for me, and it can will come via different websites, but this is again a source for me. Not very important unless I really want to dig deep into this. So if you remember, channels may it had referrals also. In source and medium, it does not have, because source medium does not capture the referral as a separate thing, and it has something as an overlap. That's why they have separated here. But my suggestion, inside all traffic, just look at the source medium, you'll get everything, right? Google Ads, if integrated, then you can see your campaign performance here. Tree map is the same thing. Site links, again, not important. Bid adjustment, keywords, all these things should be handled through Google AdWords and not via this. So you can also get the search queries that are being searched. I am currently not getting anything here, but considering that they must have been search queries, so definitely there's an error here. But you will get what kind of search queries you're getting to reach to your website. Hours of the day we have already covered in the dashboard, but I'll still show you here that which hour of the day is really working for you, right? So again, this is not important for me because that pictorial was much better in terms of representation, right? Yeah, so I think we can do the diagrammatic part here where you can get some idea of which one really paid off. 6 o'clock, uh, 3 o'clock, these have been really good. Final URLs. What is final URLs? Final URLs is basically whatever ads that you ran onto the Google Ads platform, what was the URL you gave and what was the conversion you got. So here again, you will get the acquisition, behavior, and conversion. Since I have not set any goal inside my Google Analytics, hence this value is not coming in, right? Similar is with display targeting, video campaign, shopping campaign. Everything is with respect to Google Ads. Google Ads, if I want to take in, I have already considered Google Ads inside my all traffic. I'll show you again just for your reference, right? Google CPC. So you have already captured this. You don't require to dig deep into that number of 29, right? So moving on. Search console is again something which should be connected to Google Analytics. So I think we had not connected it. Yes. So we need to set this up. But Search console is uh, basically indexing your website on to the Google algorithm for them to capture the pages and then show it on the Google search engine, right? So I have done that setup, but this integration where it shows it here as well has not happened. I'll show you separately that how what are the things we can look inside the search console. This is also one of the very important elements to look into. We'll take it up. So not diving deep into this. Social. Social also, having said everything, it has already been covered inside the acquisition overview. So I think there is no goal set up as such inside social, so they're not responding or showing anything as such. But if I would have a goal set up, then this social would have a lot of elements that you can cover, but you can ignore the social part completely. Campaign is again words that are actually triggering. So my maximum words are not provided. Paid keywords not set. So I've not set this up, and I don't intend to set it also, because I think all the paid elements I really want to keep it to the Google AdWords account, right? So that is campaign for me. So inside acquisition overview and all traffic is giving you a complete picture, and this is just a bifurcation inside those elements. So dig deep if you want to, if there is a paid element, very heavy paid element that is running, but otherwise these two just suffice. Coming to behavior, uh, Behavior is again very important for me. So this is the behavior flow chart where you can see that people landed onto this page, and then there was a 96% drop off because this is the downloadable PDF, so I'm fine with it. If it would have a journey where I would have been sending the people to uh, maybe a thank you page, or so you can see that there is a thank you page, but this is a different PDF or a product altogether. So people have only 7 people have gone through, but 95 6% of the people have downloaded it here and stopped. Here also it's a video, hence there is no trickle down, but overall this is the way the flow shows, right? Site content is also a very important element because this basically shows you that what is the page views, which are the pages or the blogs that are really working for you. Then definitely this 50 business ideas is really working for me. GST number is working for me. Get 12 free books is working for me. So I'll focus on the similar kind of content going forward. Landing pages is again an important element which shows that where was the uh, last page which they were on, because there was not too much of a consumer journey within my website, hence you will see this page being the last page as well, and the exit page as well. So uh, so for people where there is a drop down somewhere in the purchasing journey, there the exit pages matter a lot, because that tells that where is the page from which the person has not moved on and has dropped down from that page. That means that page needs modification going forward. Inside the site speed, this shows you an overview of the platforms from which it is coming in, from the browser, from where it is coming in, from country. Again, for me this is not that important. Only one statistic that is important is the average page load time. This should not be more than 2 to 3 seconds. It's 11 seconds. That means a lot of changes that needs to happen to improve the website overall speed, right? Site searches, events, publisher, and experiment is something that you can ignore. This will only be into a role play once you have your goals designed, or the end conversion goal that has been designed. If it can be designed, then only these things will matter. Otherwise, inside the behavior segment, overview, behavior flow, content, speed is the only important parameter that needs to be captured. Moving to the conversion, I'll not get into this because this is the last stage of the funnel, which is the conversion one, which is broadly talking about that whatever goals that we had set up, what is the output of that, which we don't have. E-commerce I had not set up, multi-channel we have not set up, so we can ignore this completely, right? So this is it. This is the overall overview of your Google Analytics dashboard. I will be showing you one of the reports that we had created for one of the clients. The objective was simple, that he has given us certain set of keywords, 20 set of keywords, and our task was to bring up the ranking in a given span of time. So this report basically captures the SEO aspect and what are the elements that I have captured from Google Analytics to show in the reports. I believe that will give you a very clear picture. So what we did, on a month basis, we used to show the list of keywords. What is the current positioning? What is the last month positioning? What is the change that has happened? And what is the best position that we have attained till now for the keyword, right? So accordingly, we used to do red for those set of keywords where the change used to get negative. That means keywords were not showing any effect going forward, right? So that was it. That was the first part. Now from the Google Analytics, we captured the visitors, which is what are the total visitors on a month-on-month basis, and what is the returning visitor and the new visitors. This would give us the idea that are the number of visitors increasing on a month-on-month basis with an intent, or is it not happening that way, right? Next thing which we used to capture was the top 5 traffic sources. If you go back to the Google Analytics, you would see that I have shown you the place where you can see the audience and the sources. So I have taken the top 10 exactly here, but we can restrict it to top 5 because top 5 give us the 95% of the capture possible, right? So here we can see that Google organic was at the top, that means the SEO task that we were doing was showing certain effect, and it was reflecting in the referrals as well. These all the sites where we actually triggered a lot of links, backlinks, and hence we got a lot of links here, right? The next thing which we captured from the analytics, Google Analytics, was the landing page. That where is the person landing and how much views and other things that is there. So we used to write two blogs per month for this company, and we used to see the traffic that this is bringing. So inside the blog, there used to be the keyword that used to be hyperlinked, and accordingly the keyword used to get popular. So you can see that these set of keywords were bringing 20, 10, 30, and so on, because this was a B2B client, so the traffic was low. But overall we used to see a good amount of traction that we can get from this. So the landing page shows this. Again, I have not uh, used the exit page option here, because this was just a awareness campaign where we used to publicize, and because it used to be a B2B business, which is a scaffolding business. So yeah, that's it. The last part which we used to capture was the stickiness. So the stickiness was the average time spent on each page. So you'll get an average time which was 2 minutes 92 seconds, which was good. And we tried to improve it, because the end objective was for the person to eventually give in eventually given more time onto the website, and then cover all the things. So these are the most important elements. You don't need to flood the report with all the statistics. That's possible because your client might not be able to interpret. This is a good interpretation where you start with the keyword, go on with the traffic, then go on with the landing pages, and then stickiness. if the client is if the client wants to capture beyond awareness, which is capturing leads and conversion, then you need to set up the goals and other things, which is beyond the scope of this video currently. But if those are the elements that are being captured, then this will have another page which will specifically talk about the conversions aspect, ki kitne leads convert हुए from which blog and so on, right? So thank you so much. See you in the next course.